Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the workshop of the County Commissioners for October 30th. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first thing on our agenda are discussion and interviews with potential Fair Board candidates. We have them waiting in the hallway, and we will start addressing them one by one. Commissioner Copenhaver and I, as soon as we get through the rest of this agenda. So we're going to go right straight to number 2, and we have a letter of support for Timber Age, who's doing cross-laminated timber. Basically, this is so that they can file an application with OEDIT, the Office of Economic Development and International Trade, so that they can basically expand and potentially move something into Montezuma County. And again, this is just a letter of support. It doesn't tie us to anything financially. There is no fiscal note to this. I actually was able to view this a couple of years ago. We took a tour, and we went to La Plata County and saw some of the productions that they were doing over there at that point in time. And I just recognized you walking in, so I'm going to ask you to come up here to the front. We're talking about your letter of support right now for Timber Age. And let me get you a mic. You'll have to pull it really, really close so that everybody can hear you. It's all yours.
Okay. Thank you very much for taking the time to see me. My name is Kyle Hansen, the CEO of a local company called Timber Age Systems. We're based in Durango, Colorado, and we're working at the nexus of 3 main problems that are not at all unique for the Intermountain West. The first is, the cost of housing and how it's been accelerating and moving outside of the ability of the majority of folks that work and serve in our communities to be able to pay for housing. The second is that we have forests that are in desperate need of treatment, and we're working with ponderosa pine, which in my time working with the U.S. Forest Service, understand that the inability to have something to do with ponderosa pine was a big issue for this region, especially southwestern Colorado. And then the third is really the idea that we have a lot of folks that don't have opportunities to work skilled labor jobs, which my background is manufacturing. They don't really have a chance to do that in controlled, safe places. Manufacturing is really kind of an amazing place for people to work and to stabilize communities. We do most of our housing in a very traditional manner, which is still asking people to be outside in the elements. And so Timber Age is really taking those 3 things, trying to make attainable houses that are very, very efficient. So they have very low operating energy requirements. In addition, they're made from wood that most likely would have burned or been sold for firewood or died as part of disease. So it has a very low embodied carbon footprint. And then we're making those in a way where the majority of the construction happens at ground level off-site. So it's off-site, panelized manufacturing of attainable homes. And we started in 2018 with a Forest Service grant, and really have gone from 2020, we made our first cross-laminated timber panels, which is the way that we're using ponderosa pine, to we just assembled a library for Battle Rock Charter School, and it's the largest use of our fully insulated panel system. And it is it's time we have to grow. The Innovative Housing Incentive Project or program is part of the Inflation Recovery Act monies, and they have a factory improvement or a factory expansion loan. One of the things that we're doing is applying for that loan as a way of expanding our operations. We believe that there's potentially a really great way for us to work next to Aspen Wallwood or Aspen Wood Products in Mancus. We want to explore that as far as we can because I previously actually managed the Western Excelsior facility from 2012 to 2016 and understand the challenges of housing, workforce. So we think there's an opportunity for us to collaborate around offering community housing that could be attainable for the Mancus region. We think there's team member housing for both of the companies, Aspen Wood Products and Timber Age Systems. There's the chance to use additional grant funding from the USDA for potentially biomass heating and energy generation on site that could reduce the amount of material that's being moved off site, from a sawdust and chip and all that kind of stuff. And so what we really want is the chance to put in a strong application with IHIP for this loan program and really to just keep the conversation going, moving forward. Thank you.
All right. Commissioner, any questions?
Not really.
Do you have any photos of the Battle Rock expansion by chance?
Yeah. Do you want me to share it with you or show you some pictures, or what's the best way to do that?
Can you share it?
You would have to email it to me, I think.
Yeah, how about if I share a photo album, a Google photo album, and you can pull it up? That'd be kind of fun.
That's the building they just put up down there?
Uh-huh. Have you seen it?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's the library expansion, or
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So it's right on the south center of the property. It's unfortunately we're redoing some concrete work, but concrete and stucco should be happening in the next couple weeks. But you can see the interior, which is really cool.
and you were saying that you have fully insulated systems now, because when we viewed it, it was not an insulated system at all. It was
That's right.
Was the 3-tiered.
Yep. And so that really we had to start with trying to figure out how to make those panels, and so those we're really good at making cross-laminated timber now. All along we were trying to figure out how to do. Okay, perfect. How to do fully insulated panels, because when you're thinking about residential, one of the things that we're trying to do is essentially future-proof. I mean, it's not future-proof, but I think we're probably good. If someone builds with our system, they're probably good for the next 25 years of energy code changes.
So it's more like a SIPS panel.
It is. It's a foam-free SIP. That is a great way of thinking about it. Yeah. So the ponderosa pine is the structure on the inside, and then we're using dense packed cellulose so that it's all recycled. So again, the embodied carbon of it goes down significantly. The only place we use foam is on the window bucks. And if you've ever heard of passive house, so if you put the right windows in, our system is passive house ready. It's R52 in the way that it starts. If you need to make the roof even bigger than that, you can.
Until you put a window in it.
Until you put a window in it.
And then you cut a hole in the wall.
That's right. That's right.
R6 is the best you get.
If you do triple pane stuff, you can get real close to R10 now, depending on the window manufacturer, which is nuts. But you're exactly right, which is why it's so important. That's why just putting nice windows in doesn't fix it. You still have to have them in the right places and shade it correctly and all the other building science geeky things that we do. Okay. Sorry, I can't, obviously I'm having trouble talking.
You can actually share that with us. We don't have to view them today, but I'd like to look at some of the stuff that we have for tomorrow.
Just, okay.
And,
okay. Yeah, I'm happy
because this letter of support, again, ties this county to no obligations financially. It's just a letter of support for timber age and cross-laminated timber.
That's right. That's right.
That goes to OEdit. So with that, Commissioner, do you have any questions for him?
I don't have any.
I'm sure I'll have a lot of questions for you after I view it, because I'm
Okay.
curious to see what the cost is as it compares with SIPs.
And there's not a dot, it's just J McLean, right? Okay, I should have just sent to you. Do you gentlemen have other questions?
I don't at this point in time at all. We don't make decisions today, Kyle. It's just a matter of we'll look at it.
Yeah,
Tomorrow
that's
we
great.
make it during a business meeting. This is just a workshop. But if there's anything else that comes up, your email will also be attached to that, and then I can respond to it.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you. Very much
Okay.
appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Have a great day. All right, next up we have a request for fee waivers. Tommy Endres is here.
Afternoon, gentlemen. I'm Tommy Endres. At this time, I'm the commander of VFW Post 5231 here in Montezuma County. And last year, we came before you and asked for the waiver of the fees. So we said instead of doing this every month, we'd do it once a year. So it's October again, so now I'm before you guys to do our request for the waiver of the fees. Sent you a letter, one from my quartermaster and one from myself, explaining what we do and how we use the Annex building. We don't make any money off of the Annex building. All of our stuff that we do there is 100% free for the veterans. If you read the letters, you see that we have our monthly meeting there, which is we have usually from 6 to 7, we'll have what we call a meet and greet. It's open to the public if they want to come in and meet the vets and see what we're doing. It's also a chance for veterans to come in and see if they're eligible to join the VFW. And then our business meeting is from 7 to 8, where it's members only. Then we have a stand down once a year, which Mr. Lindsay was at our last stand down. Thought it was great. Mr. Candelaria has been to one of them also. These are strictly for veterans trying to learn about their benefits. What we do there is we try to find any organization in Montezuma County that has any type of programs for veterans and have them come. They're not charged to participate. The veterans aren't charged to come to it. And if the veteran needs to learn anything about his benefits that we got from A to Z, that's the day they can learn about it. And then this year, the state asked us if we'd hold a COA for them. It's because our post has done so good in the last 3 years, it's kind of an honor to come hold it. Basically, it's a business type meeting where the state guys come down and we do a joint state meeting. We would ask to use it Friday night for setup. Saturday, I would split the auxiliary portion from the post portion. I'm trying to see if the Elks would hold one or the other. And then Sunday, we'd have a meeting from 9 a.m. to noon. About 1 o'clock, they're done, and they're done usually by between 1 and 3 on Sunday.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. So I think you already know this because I think it was 2 years, Commissioner, maybe this was just prior to you. But when we were changing all of our fee structure, we basically said we would waive no fees within the county. However, we did make an exception for this. This was waived. But I just have a question for you. In all fairness to all the rest of the groups that want fees waived, would it be a big deal if we like went to another one this year, another one this year? I mean, I know what you're asking, but because we stopped waiving fees for everything, for the annex, for the fairgrounds, everything that we had waived fees just for the circumstances of the of the fiduciary responsibility because we felt like we were picking winners and losers. So just something to mull over. You don't have to
Okay.
answer that today. Obviously, we're not going to make a decision on this at all today anyway.
Right. Well, the one thing that we do compared to the other one, I don't know how the other ones use the Annex building, so I can't really speak on their behalf. But for us, it's a base place that we use, and it's just like the grant that we talk about in here. It gives the guys an idea who to get a hold of for the grant. So for us, we don't make anything off the Annex building. You guys donate it for us to use, which you guys don't make anything off of it. But in return, our grant is $70,000 a year that we put back into the community.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many other organizations are using the Annex building that,
Well, it's not
produce
just
that.
the annex. It was all. It was all of the fees were stopped being waived for everything.
okay,
So just like the 12 hours of Mesa Verde, they put back, I'm going to say, the lion's share of everything they earn. I think last year they earned about $80-some thousand. So they put back in a big chunk too. So I don't want to discount anybody, and we don't waive any of the fees for them either. So
okay,
it was just a comment, just kind of mull it over. You don't have to answer it today.
okay,
And again, we might, well, we'll see. We might wait for Commissioner Lindsay to be back too, so that we actually have a group of 3 instead of just 2 tomorrow.
okay.
Depending on how you feel, but,
So what you're looking at is charging us down the road for a fee?
well,
Is that how I'm interpreting it right?
that's correct.
Okay,
So we waived, we used to waive a lot of fees in the county for all of the different structures that we
Right.
have. And I'm not sure, Commissioner, it might have been just prior to you coming on, but I know Commissioner Lindsay was here, and we just stopped waiving fees.
okay,
But we did make an exception, but again, I'm just asking, if there might be some other group that may want a fee waived also, and sometimes is it fair to give it to the same group all the time? Is it not? You don't have to answer that
yeah,
question.
that's why you guys set up there,
Right.
that's your decision.
Yeah. So,
My decision
Anyway.
is to plead my case before you.
absolutely. And I get it, and I thank you for
Yeah.
the letters. I thank you for the time. I do think you guys do a great job, and I think your stand down is wonderful. I agree.
Okay.
I think what you do there to help those guys or gals collectively
Yes,
is great.
okay,
So, all right.
all right, thank you
Thank
for
you,
your
Mr.
time.
Endres. Commissioner, do you have any questions at all?
No,
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
See ya. All right. Next we have Jennifer Morris in a discussion as it's regarded to the Compass Consulting contract. And this is for the transportation of the
Feasibility studies.
feasibility study. Okay. So I guess bring me up to speed, because I thought we had taken care of all of this.
Well, we awarded the bid. We didn't have the contract.
Okay.
So I just sent it to Ian and made sure it was okay, and then if you could sign it, that'd be great tomorrow. But
Yeah, this contract is great. This is something that our office developed several years ago, and so this is in line with what we need, and I'm comfortable with it.
Okay. Well, gosh, that's, when it comes to a contract, I have to turn to my right.
Right, and that's why I sent it out to everybody, because I figured you'd be able to look over it.
Okay.
So I can bring a copy in for you to sign tomorrow, or how do you want to do that? Or just
If you can just send it to Kim, that way she can print it and have it ready.
Okay.
Kim should have it. I think it's in the packets.
Okay.
So
Oh.
Kim will have
It
it.
is in
Yeah.
the packet, so
Okay.
we've seen it.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Well, that was quick and easy. And then the next one, I guess, would be the DocuSign that I sent to you,
Yeah.
which got sent to you.
We also have a PDF of this one in the packet as well. I looked this over. This is sort of the typical state agreement that we see. It's got a lot of the issues that we've talked about in the past. I mean, we've got this early termination in the public interest that basically says the state can get out of it whenever they want to. And there's a lot of clauses throughout the contract like that. This is one of those contracts that if we were really required to give anything back, I would be concerned. But really what it is we're getting money and then we've got to perform the services. And so,
Correct.
To the extent that Ms. Morris is comfortable with the terms, this contract is what it is. It's just like every other
Just
state
like-
agreement that we
just like
sign.
other one. Okay,
So-
so I guess really we'll look at these well, if we approve them tomorrow, then the DocuSigns will be there, we can sign them and go on from there.
Okay, the Compass
are-
one won't be a DocuSign, but the
Yep.
the
Good,
CDOT
yeah.
one will be.
This one will be.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've gotten those every day since I
Sorry,
send them to Ian.
And we've got the hard copy too. Kim will have that, so you guys can get your signatures on that too, so we can have it in the records over at the recorder's office.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so do I need to come tomorrow, or? Oh, okay, well, perfect, thank you.
I don't think so,
Okay,
because it's
yeah, they're pretty cut and dried.
all done, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Jennifer, have you had any issues with them using the annex? Are they pretty good about cleaning up, take care of things?
I haven't, other than the stand down, but, I haven't had any problems. We have more problems with private people using them than we do for county people and things like that, so. Yeah. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, thank you for coming today, by the way, to Dolores.
You're welcome.
We all
Thank you.
appreciate that.
It was a good lunch. It was a great conversation, actually.
Yeah.
You kind of become a captive audience with,
That's how it is when I go. So, all right, thank you.
and I enjoyed it. I like talking to those people.
Yeah.
I really do.
And I like seeing how they're liking the meals and that kind of thing.
All right, thank you. Okay, with that, we have come to the conclusion of our meeting, except for we are going to conduct interviews, which we'll use the planning room, and we'll just start pulling them out. So we are done with this workshop for today. Thank you all.